Hey y'all, happy Friday. So we're going back to Cana, to the wedding where Jesus performed his first miracle. He turned the water into wine. So that exchange between Jesus and Mary, I have always thought it a little different or interesting. I didn't really understand it because the King James says, he said unto her, "Woman, what have I to do with thee?" And even the Amplified says, what is that to you and me? What do we have in common? But when I dug a little bit deeper, read several other translations to really understand what Jesus was saying, it's this is from the Passion Translation. It says, "My dear one," of course, again, that's in term of endearment. He was being respectful and showing love for her, not belittling her. "My dear one, don't you understand that if I do this, it will change nothing for you, but it will change everything for me?" It's an Aramaic idiom that says, what do we have in common if I do this? Again, this is before, this was the first of Jesus' public ministry. And so he says, my time has not yet come. What will we have in common when I do this? Everything changes. And though, Jesus says nothing for you will change, but it will change everything for me, as a mother, I'm thinking, everything would change for me. You, my son, would be, Jesus, the Messiah, the miracle performing man. Everything changes. But I love this exchange. And so if I do this, it will change nothing for you. I can also see that she already knows, him performing this miracle and him fixing the wine issue does not surprise her at all. She knows he's the Messiah. She knows that he can do miraculous signs and wonders because of the power living in him. So it would change nothing for her in that regard, but it will change everything for Jesus because other people would see and know. We're not told here in John that they all said where it comes from, and it's just that the servants that put the water in the water pots, they knew what happened. But anyway, it's just really interesting. And so Jesus tells Mary, if I do this, it'll change nothing for you, but it'll change everything for me. And then his mother says to the servants, whatever he says to you, do it. I think, Mama said, it's time. As a parent, as a mother, we can try to read between the lines, or we can imagine things, and they were people just like us. I mean, we don't like to think that Jesus was a person, but he was a person. He lived and walked the earth. He experienced the same things we experience. Mary was a woman. She was a mother. She had multiple children. Her husband, Joseph, Jesus' father, ends up passing. I don't know when that happens, but I do know at the time of Jesus' crucifixion, Joseph had already passed. So, they felt things just like we feel. Have to do things just like we do. And so Jesus says, it's going to change everything for me. And then Mama says to the servants, whatever he says to do, you do it. And whether that was the encouragement that Jesus needed, or whether it was, he did it just out of respect for her, I do think that's a really interesting exchange for us to look into at the relationship between Mary and Jesus. And we're going to dig in a little bit further next week into a couple of other places that we can see Mary and Jesus exchange. And I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see you next week. Bye, y'all.